Welcome to the Stateless Standard, where we wield the golden torch of truth to burn away the illusions spun by the powerful. In a world where statists masquerade as saviors, we're here to expose how they engineer consent and crush the sovereign individual. Today, we dissect the Tavistock Institute, not just another dusty think tank, but a shadowy architect of mind control, repackaged as therapy and enlightenment. Drawing from research by Courtney Turner and others, we'll trace Tavistock's origins from World War I shell shock to the new age psy-op that's turning free thinkers into compliant drones. Buckle up, boys and girls. This isn't feel-good history, but a cynical reminder that the elite's great reset for society is just code for your enslavement. Let's start at the beginning, because every grand scheme of control has humble, or should I say, conveniently obscured roots. The Tavistock Clinic was founded in 1920, ostensibly to treat shell-shocked soldiers from the Great War. Post-traumatic stress, they called it. But let's be real. This was the statists' first foray into cracking open the human psyche like a walnut. The building? Donated by the Herb and Russell family, tied to the Russell clan that birthed Yale's Skull and Bones Society through the Russell Trust. Coincidence? Hardly. Whispers link it to the British War Propaganda Bureau, that delightful outfit churning out lies to keep the masses marching to the slaughter. By 1947, the Rockefellers swooped in with a fat grant. Though Turner suspects earlier funding from the Astors and other robber barons who never met a mind they didn't want to mold. What started as individual therapy for broken soldiers quickly ballooned into civilian applications. They weren't just healing, they were studying breaking points, pathologies, and how to reprogram people en masse. Cynically brilliant, isn't it? The powerful fresh from engineering a world war now playing doctor to the survivors, all while plotting how to apply those lessons to you and me. Early on, Tavistock dabbled in childhood trauma, influencing attachment theory. Think John Bowlby, secure attachments breed stable adults, while avoidant ones lead to schizophrenia or alcoholism. Reactive attachment disorder? A gateway to borderline personality disorder. Sounds educational, right? But peel back the layer, and it's a blueprint for exploiting vulnerabilities. These experts weren't nurturing souls. They were cataloging how to shatter them, setting the stage for broader societal engineering. In a libertarian lens, this is the state weaponizing psychology against the individual, turning personal pain into a lever for control. Fast forward to World War II, and Tavistock becomes Churchill's so-called secret weapon. Psychologists from the Invisible College, a nod to Rosicrucian mysticism and the precursor to the Royal Society, formed War Office selection boards. They weren't picking soldiers, they were crafting leaders and change agents, as outlined in the CIA's later From Mice to Men document. Kurt Lewin, that Frankfurt School refugee, co-founded their human relations journal, pushing group dynamics theory. The goal? Dissolve the individual into the collective hive. Ah, the Frankfurt School. Those Marxist darlings from the Institute for Social Research, hell-bent on corroding Western culture to pave the way for their communist utopia. Funded by Rockefellers and John Dewey, they fled Hitler only to infest American universities like Columbia and UC Berkeley. Their mission? Spread moral decay through perversions that undermine family, faith, and freedom. Overlap with Tavistock? Thick as thieves in human relations and organizational psych. Post-WWII II, Tavistock restructured under Operation Phoenix. Symbolism alert. Phoenix rising from ashes, straight out of Rosicrucian lore. Their 2020 centennial book from Phoenix Publishing, a rebirth manifesto for a controlled society. Wilfred Bion's theories are the cynical cherry on top. Working groups where individuals contribute uniquely versus basic assumption groups that devolve into mindless conformity, tapping into Jung's collective unconscious. Jung himself dreamed of Mithraic cults, pagan roots feeding this beast. And let's not forget the MKUltra connection. Tavistock's WWII individual experiments, scaled to civilians. 2 group studies informed CIA mind control on mental patients and kids. Dissociative disorders, exacerbated on purpose. It's not therapy, it's a statist playbook for fracturing minds to rebuild them in service to power. By mid-century, Tavistock pioneered organizational psychology, infecting corporations with culture mandates that prioritize the collective over the entrepreneur. Public-private partnerships? Their brainchild, ensuring big box stores enforce ESG scores that override local freedoms. Remember 2020's lockdowns? Tavistock fingerprints all over the behavioral nudges that turned neighbors into snitches. Their website still brags about Gnostic awakenings and conferences on change agents, code for elite orchestrated enlightenment that strips your free will. Speaking of free will, Tavistock's worldview is poison to methodological and/or Christian individualism. They peddle theosophical pantheism and utilitarianism, sacrifice the one for the greater good. Figures like Anna Freud and Edward Bernays, propaganda's daddy, turned this into advertising and PR gold. Bernays' nephew even founded Netflix, streaming distractions to keep you docile. The endgame? Eradicate true freedom, twisting it into Nietzsche's will to power or Crowley's do as thou wilt. In anarcho-capitalist terms, it's the powerful declaring war on your sovereignty, viewing liberty not as God's gift for virtue, but as a threat to their hive. Now, the New Age twist. Because nothing says spiritual awakening like elite manipulation. Tavistock's ties to the Age of Aquarius promise collective cooperation over Pisces-era individualism. Stanford Research Institute's 1972 Changing Images of Man, revised 1984, birthed the Aquarian Conspiracy, courtesy of Marilyn Ferguson and Willis Harman. It's all about Game B, a tech utopia with blockchain, liquid democracy, and hollow chain systems forcing oneness. Decentralization? Don't buy the hype. It's H.G. Wells' World Brain Reborn, centralizing control through info institutions like the internet. Education's the delivery system. Robert Mueller's World Core Curriculum, rooted in Alice Bailey's New Age screeds on a one-world federation and brain consciousness fusion. Grooming kids for computer integration under compassion guises like social-emotional learning, injecting Eastern spirituality to erode Western individualism. Cynically, it's statists co-opting enlightenment to build a noosphere, a collective consciousness per Teilhard de Chardin, where your thoughts aren't your own. Were they successful? Tragically, yes. Many participants believed they were helping, blinded by their own pathologies. But the lesson for us stateless folk? Forge an ironclad self-identity, rooted in core values and convictions. Resist groupthink, which preys on borderline vulnerabilities to spark infighting. In a world of factions, the powerful win when we divide ourselves. Remember, the Tavistock saga isn't ancient history. It's the blueprint for today's psy-ops, from transgender agendas to digital cages. Don't let the statists dim your torch. If this lit a fire in you, like, subscribe, and share the Stateless Standard. Drop your thoughts below. How do we dismantle these mind machines? Until next time, stay sovereign, stay cynical, and keep questioning the greater good.